Welcome to Discovering. I'm back on the water with Chris and Jason from Caddis Shack Guide Service. This time we're looking for trout.
A couple times a year in the later summer into September, you've got the flying ant hatch, and it only lasts a day or two.
Stick around, that's all tonight right here on Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone, forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak, surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields, call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill, the eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Ever wonder if fly fishing is for you? If you're a fly fisherman, then you've already answered that question. Chris and Jason of Caddis Shack Guide Service have certainly answered that question long ago. Me, I really don't think about it much, I guess. At least not until I find myself wading in a quiet UP river, watching somebody else with a fly rod in hand, casting at a rising trout.
Did you see that? He took right next to the fly, but it wasn't my fly.
Not much sound other than some geese, a little breeze, and the trickle of water gently passing over some rocks. It's quiet, maybe as peaceful as it gets, anywhere.
There. Gosh bless it. That right there is what keeps you coming back, in case you're wondering. It's not the ones you catch, it's the ones you miss. That's why we keep coming back.
They're not here in search of the biggest fish in the river, or the most fish. They're not looking for dinner.
Bright sunshine, clear water, and we're getting hits in the middle of the afternoon.
They are just here to fly fish.
A couple times a year in the later summer into September, you've got the flying ant hatch, and it only lasts a day or two. And if you look out right along this bank side, the opposite side of the river, we have a lot of fish rising with some pretty big dorsal fins popping through the surface. So it is without a doubt flying ant time, and this is a pattern for a flying ant. Gives a little brown, gives a little black, parachute style with a white post on top. And you only get this 1 or 2 times a year in the fall, and it's so quick. And this is what they're on right here. That's the money. Little balls of protein. Guess what he took? Ant. Beautiful, healthy. So again, just to go over what we were talking about, it happens for a day or two, but the flying ant hatch is just so powerful. These fish, it's bright bluebird skies and clear water, and these fish are just going nuts right now because of this ant hatch. They're all over the water, and it's just something, if you've never experienced it, you gotta hit it when it happens. But again, it's 24 to 48 hours, and this is what you can get. Another?
Yeah, they're right in close here. Just in this really soft water.
One of the biggest things that I think often gets missed in trout fishing and dry fly fishing especially is knowing and how to understand what water currents are doing and what direction the fly is going to push in. As a prime example, right here to this fish I'm casting to right off the point of this rock, where even though you can't see it, the fly is literally pushing right 3 to 4 feet above where I want to go. So understanding your water and what happens is key.
Griffiths.
Griffiths net.
Yep. 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 Yeah. It's got some pretty color to him. We're starting to. So I just saw a swirl in the shadow over there, set the hook, and that guy came out of the water probably 3 foot before I knew what happened. Luckily, I was able to just get the slack out of it real quick, work him on, get him on the reel, and get him into the net. That was a nice, nice, nice rainbow. That was sweet. That is it. Woo! Feisty. Feisty little rainbow. And that is what we're using. A little piece of lint. Griffiths net. The trees and stuff.
Finally, Chris gets one. I'll tell you, I must be 2 for 15 today now. Oh, beautiful little boy. Absolutely beautiful. Just sipping those ants. Could be my own fault that I'm missing the fish. I'm setting too quick. See how right on the tip he is? They're just sipping them. Pop. Just that easy. And just that quick. Ah, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Pretty, gorgeous, gorgeous rainbow. Go get big. Go slow with this guy.
Nice fish.
Yeah, that's what we're after right there. Nah, just gonna take my time.
You seen him yet?
Yep, got a motor on him. Got some weight. Got some weight.
If you get him under control. I remember I was fighting a steelhead one day on a swing, and Jason asked me if I was ever going to reel it in. He said, "You done playing with this fish?"
One of those, you done playing?
Oh! Holy backman. Good fish.
Right, that's what we're after. That's what we're after right there. Look at those spots, man, they're just glowing. Man, this fish is perfect shape, Chris. Like, just not ever even touched. Unmolested. Be him. Okay. Let him rest a minute. Crazy, as you can see on the top of their head, that lighter color. See that darker line right there? And the lighter color shows you that's kind of like us getting a red face when we run up a hill or something like that. You can tell when they're really worn out. They get a white head on them. Ready?
But just to give you a breakdown of what we're doing, you know, a lot of people think trout fishing and they think mayflies. Well, we're here in September on this beautiful September afternoon, and we've been hitting fish real well. And one of the things that we've had happen that you don't get to see too often, once or twice a fall typically, is a flying ant hatch. So we geared up right away when Jason realized what was going on. And I want to show you a couple of the flies that we're using, because again, a lot of people equate fly fishing to mayflies. But one of the most underused, underrated flies is called a Griffith's gnat. That's this little guy right here. It's basically just a piece of peacock herl with a grizzly hackle run through it. Such a simple tie, but it can represent flying ants, for example, trichos. It can represent black caddis, all beetles, all kinds of things. This is just an absolutely must-have go-to pattern any time of the year in the Upper Peninsula. Keeping with that, obviously, since we have found a flying ant hatch, one of my favorites is this little size 16, size 18 parachute ant. And you can see it's got a little red and a little black in it, just so it gives it a little bit of diversity. But I'm not as big a fan of color as I am matching a size. And then, of course, what we have on this river, we have typically a tremendous October caddis hatch. So I always like to tie regular elk hair caddis, or this is what's referred to as a Z caddis. So it's basically an elk hair caddis with a little shuck coming off the end of it. These three pieces have been what have hit all of our fish today. And the other thing when you're fishing this way, remember, you're fishing with small flies, 16, 18, and even the dreaded 20 and beyond, which I can't see anyway. You're going down to some really light tippets. So don't be afraid to use a 2-pound test or a 4-pound test in like a Rio fluorocarbon, a Seagar fluorocarbon, or a DPLS fluorocarbon. All three of those brands are pretty dynamic when you get down into that, what I refer to as angel hair, that super thin stuff, but they're pretty strong. With that being said, 4-weights are the flavor of the day. 4-weight and dry fly fishing just go hand in hand. But the other thing a lot of people like to do in the fall, and anybody who trout fishes in the fall knows, it's also streamer time. So I actually did bring a switch rod with me today, and this is an 11.5-foot 4-weight switch rod with a big sculpin pattern on it. Okay, it's bait fish time as well. And I like to streamer fish and I like to swing flies, so I just opted to bring the one rod and just lighten my load a little bit. This is a rod that I swing flies on, and the big difference between swinging a fly and stripping a fly, this is more of a constant motion and a steady swing, where anybody that streamer fishes know you're to be as erratic as possible to grab the fish's attention. So those are the two things we're doing today, and I have already swung the fly a little bit, but this ant hatch has got these fish so looking up. I mean, where else can you go and in the middle of the afternoon with a bluebird sky sit and smash browns and rainbows on a dry fly? Something had to stimulate it, and again, it's that flying ant hatch. There we go. Cahill's work too. Easy there, easy.
There should have been a lot of different things going on with this shot.
There we go. Perfect.
Got to be a big dark rainbow, I think. Yep. Big bow. Big strong bow. You see that? Okay, we're in the danger zone here. Let's see what we can do. All right. That's a little bigger.
So is fly fishing for you? In a lot of ways, fly fishing is like other types of fishing. You gotta want to fish, of course. You need some equipment, a rod, net, some flies, waders. But then you need a spot.
Ain't gonna be long, man. We ain't gonna be staring up at that.
A spot where fishermen are few and scenery is plentiful.
If it could give us like just 2 more months.
A spot with no roads. A spot you had to walk to. Just you, a like-minded fisherman or two, and a few fish. Fly fishing? Yeah, I don't think about it much. Till I have a day like this.
That's all for tonight, and I hope to see you right back here next week for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.